The Galactic Academy's training hall buzzed with nervous energy as cadets from 73 different species prepared for their first combat assessment. Ellie stood near the back of the observation deck, her arms crossed, watching the proceedings with barely concealed boredom. She'd been through this routine 100 times before, but today was different. Today, she was the benchmark. Levi stepped onto the testing platform, his Thaxian uniform immaculate, his 4 eyes gleaming with confidence. He'd scored top marks in every theoretical exam, mastered the combat simulations, and earned the respect of instructors across 3 departments. But like most cadets who'd never encountered a human in the field, he carried a dangerous assumption that reputation was exaggeration. "Earthborn," he announced to the assembled crowd, his translator rendering his clicking speech into galactic standard. "I challenge you to demonstration combat." The hall fell silent. Challenging an instructor was permitted, even encouraged, but challenging Ellie was something else entirely. She'd arrived at the academy 3 cycles ago with nothing but a duffel bag and a service record that was 70% redacted. Within 6 months, she'd rewritten 4 combat protocols and personally trained the Academy's rapid response team. Ellie uncrossed her arms and walked down to the platform, her boots making soft thuds against the metal floor. She was shorter than most species present, her frame compact and efficient, but something in the way she moved made the crowd instinctively step back. "You sure about this, Cadet?" she asked, her voice carrying easily across the hall despite its quietness. Levi's confidence didn't waver. "I've studied human combat extensively. Your species relies on endurance and improvisation. In a technical engagement, those advantages disappear." Ellie smiled, and several veteran cadets in the crowd winced. They knew that smile. "All right then, standard rules. First to 3 touches wins. You can use any equipment from the standard loadout." Levi nodded and moved to the equipment rack, selecting a phase rifle, 2 stunning charges, and a scanner bolt launcher, a device that fired tracking rounds designed to mark targets for analysis. It was a favorite among tactical specialists, allowing real-time assessment of opponent movements and weaknesses. Ellie walked to her side of the platform empty-handed. "No equipment?" Levi asked, suspicion creeping into his voice. "Don't need it," she replied, rolling her shoulders. "Ready when you are." The referee, a massive Krolix with scales like burnished copper, raised one appendage. "Combatants ready. Begin." Levi moved immediately, his training evident in every step. He fired the scanner bolt first, a standard opening move, mark the target, analyze their reaction speed, adjust tactics accordingly. The bolt streaked through the air, its trajectory perfect, aimed at Ellie's center mass. Ellie's hand shot up faster than most species could track. Her fingers closed around the bolt mid-flight, the kinetic dampeners in the round whining as they struggled against her grip. She held it for a moment, the device's sensors blinking uselessly against her palm, then crushed it with a casual squeeze. "Earthborn," she said, her voice cutting through the stunned silence. "Try again." Levi's 4 eyes widened. The scanner bolt traveled at 300 meters per second. Catching one required reflexes that shouldn't exist in nature, neural processing speeds that defied biological limits. His instructors had told him humans were fast, but this was something else. He recalibrated instantly, years of training overriding his shock. The phase rifle came up, and he fired 3 rounds in a tight spread pattern, impossible to dodge all at once. Simultaneously, he rolled left, creating distance while tossing a stunning charge to cut off her advance. Ellie moved like water, like something that had never been taught the concept of impossible. She ducked under the first phase bolt, twisted around the second, and caught the third with her other hand. The stunning charge never landed because she was already gone, closing the distance between them faster than Levi's eyes could follow. Her hand touched his shoulder, feather-light, controlled. "1," the referee announced. Levi stumbled back, his respiratory systems working overtime. She'd crossed 15 meters in less than a second. He raised the rifle again, but Ellie was already inside his guard, her movements economical and precise. She tapped his chest. 2. The watching cadets pressed closer to the barrier, their earlier chatter replaced by awed silence. This wasn't just skill. This was something fundamental, something that transcended training. Levi's confidence had evaporated, replaced by something close to fear. He'd read the reports, watched the simulations, studied human physiology until he could recite muscle fiber composition in his sleep. None of it had prepared him for this. "Why?" he asked, his translator struggling with the emotion in his voice. "How are you so fast?" Ellie stepped back, giving him space. When she spoke, her voice carried to every corner of the hall. "You want to know what makes humans dangerous? It's not our tools, not our ships, not even our stubbornness. It's that we evolved on a death world where everything, and I mean everything, was trying to kill us." She began to circle slowly, and Levi found himself turning to keep her in view, his rifle hanging uselessly at his side. "We had to chase down prey for hours until it collapsed from exhaustion. We had to fight predators with nothing but rocks and sticks. We had to survive diseases, starvation, each other. For 200,000 years, Earth tried to kill us, and we said no. We adapted. We endured. We got faster, stronger, smarter." Ellie stopped moving and looked directly at Levi. "Your species evolved on a world with 1/3 Earth's gravity. Your predators were slow because they didn't need to be fast. You developed technology before you developed claws because you never needed them. That's not weakness. That's just a different path." She gestured to the equipment rack. "Your gear is excellent. Your tactics are textbook perfect. But you're fighting with borrowed reflexes, Levi. Mine were earned in blood over thousands of generations." The hall was silent except for the hum of life support systems. "The third touch," Ellie said quietly. "Would you like me to take it? Or have you learned what you needed?" Levi slowly lowered his rifle and bowed, his head dipping in the Thaxian gesture of respect. "I yield, instructor. The lesson is received." Ellie nodded and extended her hand, not for a touch, but a handshake, that ancient human gesture of respect between warriors. Levi took it, his smaller hand disappearing into her grip. "You've got good instincts," she said. "Work with your strengths, not against them. And remember, speed isn't everything. Sometimes the deadliest thing in the room is the one patient enough to wait for the right moment." As Levi left the platform, the assembled cadets erupted into discussion, their voices mixing into a cacophony of dozens of languages. But one phrase repeated across species and translation protocols, whispered with newfound understanding and no small amount of respect: "Earthborn."